The 19th session of the 11th National Parliament begins today. After 19 days of demonstration, tea plantation workers have returned to work to Dhaka 170 daily wage. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Mytv News. I am Farhan Ismail with you in the newsroom today watching headlines. Now the details. Bangladesh will look into the proposal of the other countries, including the United States, which wants to shelter Rohingyas, says Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal. He said that policies are being prepared so that Rohingyas cannot organize any crime using Bangladeshi mobile phones. He said this to reporters in the Secretariat today. Trafficking of the narcotics from Myanmar is also being observed. Ansar Police, APBM are conducting operation to stop these activities. The Home Minister also said that the army will be deployed if necessary. Political counselor of the Canadian High Commission in Dhaka, Bradley Coates, he had a courtesy meeting with the Jatiya Party chairman and opposition deputy leader Ghulam Muhammad Qadir MP. The courtesy meeting was held at the Banani office of the National Party chairman today. In the meeting, the historical friendly relation and mutual interest between Bangladesh and Canada were discussed. JPA chairman Ghulam Muhammad Qadir commented that Canada's contribution to the development and progress of Bangladesh is historic. Jatiya Party Secretary General Muhammad Mujibul Haq Chunno MP, Jatiya Party Chairman, Advisor and Special Envoy Mansoor Maula, Vice Chairman Ahsan Abidur Rahman were present in the meeting. The 19th session of the 11th National Parliament began today. The session started under the chairmanship of Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhury. At the beginning of the session, condolences were offered on the death of Gaibandha 5 constituency member of the Parliament, Deputy Speaker Mohammad Fazle Rabbi Mia. The new Deputy Speaker is the former Minister of the State for Home Affairs, Advocate Samsul Haq Tuku. President Abdul Hamid will administer the oath to the new Deputy Speaker at 7 p.m. in the President's Chamber at the National Parliament. This short session may end on September 1st. After 19 days of demonstration for daily wages being increased to Dhaka 300, the tea plantation workers have returned to work as their wages have been increased to Dhaka 170 following a meeting with the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina at her official residence Gana Bhavan on Saturday night. The tea estate owners agreed to raise the wage by Dhaka 50 from the previous wage of Dhaka 120 every day. When the workers received the information of pay rise, they called off the strike and returned to work. General Secretary of Awami League Ubaidul Qadir commented that BNP and its allies are trying to create chaos in the countries by creating various fronts in exchange of money. In the morning, on the occasion of National Mourning Day, Rajshahi Metropolitan Awami League organized a discussion meeting and joined the program virtually. BNP knows that Sheikh Hasina cannot be removed from power through election. That's why they have chosen the path of conspiracy. Awami League General Secretary said to BNP leaders that the change of power in this country will not happen through the back door. The people will go to the power through elections. People's lives are in misery due to the shortage of power supplies, says Senior Joint Secretary General of BNP Ruhul Kabir Rizvi. He said this at a JASS discussion meeting at the capital's Neapolitan area today. Rizvi said there is an uninterrupted connection in the houses of ministers despite the Awami League General Secretary talking about load shedding in their houses. On the other hand, common people are suffering all over the country. BNP has arrested a leader of Grameen Telecom and Telecom Union employees in connection with embezzlement of money through Fraudulence and Intelligence Chief DIG Harun Rashid gave this information in a press conference at DMP Media Center today. He said that the intelligence team of Gulshan Division arrested the accused named Mainul Islam from Magbari area of Gumela. There is an allegation of embezzlement of Dhaka 3 crore against him. Earlier, 2 more of his people were arrested on charges of embezzlement of 9 crore Dhaka. Viewers, now international news. The UN has called for an immediate stop to hostilities in Libya following a day of deadly clashes between political factions in the capital Tripoli. At least 23 people were killed and dozens more were wounded during the fighting. The Health Ministry in Tripoli said among the dead was a young comedian, Mustafa Baraka. An official said Libya has been a chaos since the NATO-backed uprising in 2011 that ousted long-serving ruler Colonel Muammar Gaddafi. Despite this, the country had enjoyed a relatively calm period over the last 2 years. On Saturday, armed forces of the internationally recognized government tried to push back a convoy of militia loyal of Fatehi Bashagha, the man whom our rival Eastern Parliament recognizes as a prime minister. People across South Africa are taking part in a nationwide strike in a protest against the rising cost of living. Massive protests have taken place in Pretoria, South Africa, called by the country's main trade union. Protesters demand that the government should immediately reduce the price of everything, otherwise it becomes a liability for them to survive. South African economy has been under a lot of pressure since Corona. At least 2 million people lost their job. The unemployment rate has risen to 35%. The rate of inflation is now 7.8%. The power supply company is not able to meet the power demand, so there is a frequent load shedding. The electricity bill has also increased by 7.5%. Food and beverage prices have increased by about 10%. Viewers, now sports. Rohit Sharma lead Team India will take on Babar Azam's Pakistan in their first Group A match today in Dubai. Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli have been the 2 pillars of India's white ball team for the past decade. But having received a rude jolt at this very venue 10 months back during the T20 World Cup, the duo exactly know where it stands and what it needs to do to turn the tables. With no bilateral contest between their cross-border neighbors for 10 years now and nothing on the anvil in near future, the geopolitical tension does always make up for a heavy build-up, but the lack of regular games mean that Indo-Pak rivalries are rather held between unfamiliar feuds rather than familiar ones. We are about to end the headlines once again. Bangladesh will look into the proposals of the countries of giving shelter to Rohingya, says Home Minister. The 19th session of 11th National Parliament begins today. After 19 days of demonstration, tea plantation workers have returned to work of Dhaka 170 daily wage. The UN has called for an immediate stop to hostilities in Libya. India will take on Pakistan in their first Group A match of Asia Cup tonight. Thanks for being with us. To join with MyTV News online, visit YouTube/MyTV News. To watch all our programs, visit YouTube/MyTV Bangla, Facebook/MyTV Bangla. Our next birthday will be telecast 7:30 p.m. Stay connected and Allah Hafiz.